Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. How are you? I hope that you are all fine by the grace of Allah Almighty. Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss Elizabethan age or Shakespearean age or Renaissance age. In fact, we are going to start the reading and explanation of the text of the drama Othello written by William Shakespeare. So, before starting the drama Othello, we will analyze the age in which this drama was written. This age is known as Golden Age in the history of English literature. In this age, there was peace and prosperity in England, and therefore art grows well. This age is known by three names: Elizabethan age, Shakespearean age, and Renaissance age. We will try to understand why this age is called Elizabethan age, why this age is called Renaissance age, and why this age is called Shakespearean age. This age is known as Elizabethan age because Queen Elizabeth I became the ruler of England in this time span, and the time span is 1558 to 1603. And why this age is called Shakespearean age? Because at that time, means the time span 1558 to 1603, Shakespeare was a great poet, and no other poet was as great as Shakespeare. He used his mental power, maintained his quality and quantity, and wrote masterpieces, and that made this golden age of English literature. And the next postulate is that why this age is called Renaissance age. It is also known as Renaissance because it was the time of learning. Renaissance is the time of learning. It was the time when the learning grows, when the learning goes on its peak. It was not just the learning of literature, rather there was learning and discoveries of all subjects. Theaters were also opened for literature in this time span. Now, we will discuss that how Renaissance came in England. Renaissance did not start or came in England directly. First of all, it came in Italy in the 14th century and then spread in different countries of Europe. So it came in England in Elizabethan age when Elizabeth was the Queen of England. Before Elizabethan age or Shakespearean age or Renaissance age, there was a period, and that period was called Tudor period. And the age that came after this age, this specific age means Shakespearean age, that age is called Jacobean period or Jacobean era. And the next thing is that Elizabethan age is also known as golden age of English literature. Why? Because the poets, the dramatists, prose writers from different countries of Europe got inspiration from different traditional works and more from Italian works. Italian writers of got inspiration from Greek and Roman works. So what does it mean? It means that this age is called golden age of English literature because the poets, dramatists, prose writers from different countries of Europe, they belong to different countries of Europe, but they got inspiration from the Italian works. Okay, So Italian, and the next thing is that Italian writers got inspiration from what? They got inspiration from Greek and Roman works. So this is a chain, means uh, in Elizabethan age, dramatists, prose writers got inspiration from Italian works, and the Italian works are the representation, were the representation of Greek and Roman works. It means they inspired from Greek ancient works. Sonnets, if we talk about sonnets, so sonnets came in English literature from Italian literature. Basically, sonnets came from Italian literature to English literature. Now, in this age, there are some important poets, dramatists, prose writers are the part of this age. For example, if we take a look upon the poets, so Thomas Sackville, Thomas Norton, George Edmund Spencer, Thomas White, Henry Howard, Sir Philip, Sidney Samuel, Danley Mycon, Drayton. So these are the important poets of this age. If we talk about the dramatists of Shakespearean age, so the dramatists were the most important key figure, the most important personality about whom I have discussed in this video, and he is William Shakespeare. The next is Ben Jonson, Thomas Middleton, John Webster, John Ford, Francis Beaumont, Philip Messinger, Thomas Dekker, John Marston, Thomas Howard, etc. So these were the important dramatists of Shakespearean age. Now, if we talk about prose writers of Shakespeare age, so those were Sir Philip Sidney. You know that Sir Philip Sidney has a very plays a very important role in the literary criticism as well. He has written an apology for poetry, and he is a prose writer as well. So, the next important key figure of Elizabethan age regarding prose writing is Sir Francis Bacon, then Hooker, William Webb, etc. So, these were the most important prose writers of Elizabethan age. And the next very important persons, the personalities of Elizabethan age were university wits. You know, university wits. Who were university wits? University wits were educated people, and they came before Shakespeare and they inspired him. Means the Shakespeare got inspiration from university wits. Now, what are the names of the university wits? You may be asked anywhere. So, first of all, the first university wits is John Lilly, Thomas Cade, George Peele, Thomas Lodge, Robert Greene, Christopher Marlowe, Thomas Nash. You know, Christopher Marlowe is a very important figure in university wits. He has written uh, Dr. Faustus, and you know that Dr. Faustus is a masterpiece of Christopher Marlowe. Now, we will understand that what are the major works of some important key figures, some important personalities of Elizabethan age. Their major works written in this age were as follows, like The Fairy Queen by Edmund Spenser, Sonnets by Sir Philip Sidney, okay, dramas by William Shakespeare. I have discussed it like Othello, King Lear, okay, and many other dramas written by uh, William Shakespeare as well. So poetry by Thomas White. Okay, here I would like to tell you very important point, and that is uh, John Lilly was the first person. John Lilly, you know that he is the main key figure in the university wits. John Lilly was the first person who inspired William Shakespeare. There is an influence of John Lilly in Shakespeare's romantic comedies. The next thing is that the next the next poet was Thomas White. Thomas White. If we talk about Thomas White, you know that Thomas White and Henry Howard uh, are the main key figures, are the main poets who brought the writing of sonnets into English literature. So Thomas White liked innovations. He discovered new things. First of all, White did this work of Italian sonnets to English sonnets, wanted to make English language as civilized one. So what does it mean? He is telling you that Thomas White was the first person who liked innovations. Okay, so therefore he did this work to make English sonnets, to make English language as civilized one. So there was octave and sestet in Petrarchan poetry. He took oath and made sestet. Okay, he made three quatrains. So you know that in quatrains there are four lines. Okay, there are four lines in each stanza. So he made quatrains of 4 and 4 lines and rhyming couplet of 2 lines. So in this way sonnets started in England. So you have come to know that how sonnets started in Shakespearean age. So Thomas White was the person who played a role for for writing sonnets in English literature. And the next person whom we have discussed, and he is Edmund Spenser. Edmund Spenser, you know that Edmund Spenser wrote The Fairy Queen. Sir Philip Sidney is also a famous poet. Is also a famous poet of Shakespearean age, and William Shakespeare. Now we take a very uh, we take a small sketch of Elizabethan age, and that is Edmund Spenser wrote The Fairy Queen. Sir Philip Sidney is also a famous poet. William Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets and got fame, and his famous sonnet is Shall I Compare? Okay, number 18. Now, what is the main thing of Elizabethan age? The main thing of Elizabethan age is theatre, due to which Elizabethan age became famous. So, theatre was the main component in Elizabethan age, due to which this age became famous. In England, theatre became famous due to Italian literature, because in Italy there started a work on Greek and Roman literature. So the roots of Elizabethan theatre's roots were in Italy. England's playwrights hugged Italian models, and because of this, Italian literature and culture came in England. And in this regard, if we talk about the Shakespearean plays, so why were the Shakespearean plays very famous? Shakespearean plays were very famous because of variety. There were history, tragedy, comedies, and romance and tragic comedies. So these were the varieties in Shakespearean Shakespearean's dramas, tragedies. Shakespeare's basics Italian comedy was a comedy of error. After these, he wrote history plays, problem plays, and after these, he wrote Othello, Hamlet, Macbeth, King Lear, etc. This was a great time of Shakespeare's life. After this, his last time came. He wrote romantic and tragic comedy. The next great day was Christopher Marlowe. You know that Christopher Marlowe was a university wit. So, if it is said that if Marlowe lived more, he would leave Shakespeare behind. Marlowe mainly focused on morality. He does not have flexibility in plays like Shakespeare. If Marlowe did not die in early age, we would see more works. So what does it mean? It means that Christopher Marlowe was the was the dramatist, okay, was the great dramatist who played a great role in writing drama. But the tragedy is that he got died before Shakespeare. Another important person of this age was Thomas Dekker, who is also known for his work The Shoemaker Holiday. He mainly wrote on poor people. The way the people were suppressed in England, he wrote according to it. So, you know that he was the poet of Elizabethan age. We have we have come to know, we know the name, we know the list of the poets of the Elizabethan age, so he is also one of them. Then the next person is Robert Greene. Robert Greene was also a great dramatist of that age who often attacked on Shakespeare. And the last thing is that the blank verse was also introduced in this age. Before this age, no blank verse was used by the dramatists, okay, or the figures of the English literature. Shakespeare and Marlowe used it very much in their writings. At that time, plays were performed in front of Elizabeth, and she also invited the dramatists to watch. Means, as she was a dancer, talented magician. Means, we are talking about Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth. She was a dancer, talented magician. Perhaps she sported art too much. So this was the whole sketch of the Shakespearean age. So what we have got from this whole video lecture is that we have talked about this age means Shakespearean age, or the Elizabethan age, or Renaissance age, and we have come to know why this age is called, why this age has three names. The next thing is that we have discussed different poets of this age, different dramatists of this age, different prose writers of this age, and the university weights as well. In a nutshell, what is the crux of the Shakespearean or Elizabethan age or Renaissance age? The crux of this age is that there are important dramatists, poets, prose writers like William Shakespeare, like Christopher Marlowe, like Edmund Spenser, like Thomas White, Henry Howard, and university wit. So we have come to know about these figures of the English literature which were the part of Elizabethan age. The next thing is that we have understood that why this age was called Renaissance age or Elizabethan age or Shakespearean age, and why this age grew in this time span. And the next thing regarding writing dramas is that blank in verse was introduced in this age. Before this age, this technique of writing drama was not followed by the earlier dramatists. So, in this age, we came to know that the blank verse was used by the dramatist. So, this was the whole sketch, this was the whole summary of this age. Hope so you would like this video. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.